Excuse me. Morning. Oh. Yesterday I was like, it's so hot. Does that mean it's summer? Or, yeah, summer? Wait. Spring? Summer? Yeah, summer. And our office admin was like, yes, it's July? And I'm like, oh yeah. It's almost fall, actually. I don't know, I'm strange about some of these demarcations. When did the hand take over? So I found myself in an old AVR book. And by old, I mean like, I guess it is. It was made in like 2005 or something. And I'm like, I figured it was old, quote unquote old, which means it was made in like the 90s or the 80s. And it's already 2019. Well, 14 years. But it's it had, you can tell from the old cover and cover styling. It's a book on the AVR Butterfly development board. It talks about how to learn C through that AVR development board, which kind of seems a bit like the I don't know, maybe like the Pi badge. It's just a board that had an LCD screen, some lights, and a temperature sensor. Yeah, I think it had a temperature sensor and a joystick, 4-directional joystick. Apparently you can buy these kits. I'm pretty sure all the software is for Windows, though, so I don't know. I don't want the actual kit. I just want to be able to learn C the way that people learned it before. It was like a coding camp or some garbage. There's a website that says like how to learn programming in 30 years. It's always like, how to learn programming in 5 minutes, how to learn programming in 25 seconds, how to learn programming by the time you finish this sentence. I guess you could say what you want about the boomers. The millennials love their instant feedback. My daughter has what she calls Legoland. It's a Lego table that has, the studs on top of it, and she builds buildings on top of it, and this is the this and this is the that. It looks really cool. I'm glad we got her free building young. But yesterday, she's very protective of Legoland, though, because she spends a lot of time working on it. There you go. And yesterday she was being careless with a large stuffed animal and smashed it. And she was very upset. But she didn't want to start over. She did not want to start over. She didn't want to look at what she had done. And I was telling her, you know how many times Daddy has had to start over? How many times I've been working on a code project or something, and I just realize I either lose the whole thing or realize I screwed it up from the beginning, and I'm pretty much just gonna have to rewrite it. Like so many times. Many times. Oh. Whew. My driving hat was right on top of it, and I'm like, I brought it, right? I'm so sure I brought it. So she, I told her, like, so many times you have to do this in life, just in life. Doesn't matter what it is, you know, you're gonna mess up and you're gonna have to start over. And sometimes that means hours of work, sometimes it means weeks of work. And you know what you do? You start over. you just start over. And the thing that has always tempered that annoyance is the knowledge that the second time you do it, it's usually faster. And the second time you do it, the product is usually better. So I've had, you know, you write a chapter of a book or something like that, and then you lose it, or something happens to it and like half of it's gone or the whole thing's gone. The second time you write it, it's usually better, and it's usually shorter. Same thing with your code, particularly for code, actually, because you already kind of logicked out, maybe for Legos too, you already know what it should look like. You know where you want to get. There are some. There was an electrical engineering forum that I was reading, and an EE guy was bemoaning the introduction of programmers into the field. I mean, he went out of his way to say he was happy that more people were doing it, but he was unhappy that they were not getting the baseline education, because programmers get to try stuff until stuff works, and then if you share that code, you know, it just works other places, as long as you got, you know, pretty much just works other places. But in electrical engineering, you can make a circuit that works for you, but doesn't work for other people for different tolerances, or, you know. You can design the circuit so that it works, but it's not going to work in a week, or it's going to have compounding problems, or you're going to you're sending dangerous voltages into, you know, whatever device, but it'll run for like a week, or it'll run for a few weeks, or someone else uses a more charged battery and you didn't account for that high level of voltage, and, you know, they have problems. So the programming approach of just try stuff and share it doesn't really apply, especially if you don't know what you're doing when you design the circuit from the beginning. It's part of why I am rather cautious about all this stuff, and why when I have a problem, I generally research the electrical side of it as much as I can, or I default I default to pre-prepared circuits, things that are already working right now, or, you know, standard commercial stuff. So that I can at least say, well, I didn't design the circuit. There's another element to that. It's being able to swap parts in and out, but I am more likely to assemble parts electronically than to design my own circuit. Because I understand that I don't understand. Which is a good thing to understand, actually. Oh boy. So I'm still trying to do a couple things, actually. I'm trying to narrow down, I don't know. I went through this period of was, as I look back on it, I think, at least, was weight loss and productivity. And then kind of pulled back on it. I think it was might have to check. I want to say there was like holidays or something like that. I don't know, something gave me cause to back off of it. Maybe I was testing. But I've been testing different things for a while now, and I haven't quite gotten back into that same groove. So I'm trying to figure out what I did weight loss wise and productivity wise. So yesterday was a good productive day, and I'm switching to the butter coffee today. So we'll see what happens there. I'm resisting the notion that I just have bad days and I just have good days. I do think that the food and other things play a part. I was up late last night, so there's always some variable to throw into the mix, but I have been changing the way I eat. I haven't done the no eating past 7 rule yet. So, you know me, I'm trying to be as lazy as possible and have the most effect as possible. So it's like, I did A, B, C, and D, and I started to lose weight. Like, alright, well, let's try A, let's try B, and let's try A and C, and let's try B and C, let's try A and B only. Meanwhile, D is don't eat past 7. I haven't tried that yet, and it would be pretty cool if the answer was only D. I just mean that it would be cool because I like to do fewer things. So we'll see. I'm always just trying stuff. Just try stuff. Just try stuff.